There are over 2,000 dogs inside a facility in Wisconsin right now. And in less than 2 weeks, people are risking arrest to break them out. I'm going there to document what happens. My name is Alex Tello, and this is Furthest from the Wild. On April 19th, I'm heading to Wisconsin to document one of the most controversial animal rescues happening in the country right now. A place called Ridglan Farms, where thousands of dogs are being bred for experimentation, and where authorities have known about the allegations for years, but haven't removed them. So the question is, if the system isn't stepping in, who will? According to whistleblowers, legal experts, and animal welfare organizations, dogs inside Ridglan Farms have allegedly been subject to devocalization, surgical procedures without anesthesia, and years of confinement in metal cages. Some dogs reportedly spend 7 to 8 years inside those cages without ever leaving. Over the past decade, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of complaints. A criminal referral, testimony from a whistleblower, even findings from state agencies, and according to activists, even a judge determined that thousands of dogs may be victims of criminal abuse. And still, no large-scale seizure of these animals has happened. On March 15, 2026, activist Hsiung spoke directly with Dane County Sheriff Kalvan Barret. The sheriff emphasized law and order and maintaining peace, but Wayne kept bringing the focus back to the dogs. He pointed to something even more alarming: hundreds of potential felony violations identified by regulators. And then the central question: authorities point to a legal argument known as the research exemption. The idea that facilities tied to experimentation may not fall under standard animal cruelty laws. But according to multiple legal experts, that argument may not apply here. And according to the call, even law enforcement acknowledge uncertainty.
We just want to make sure that everyone understands, though, there's a clear line between the peaceful protesting and then kind of breaking the law and the breaking and entering and stuff. And that's just where we have to enter, because that's our role, right? That's the role that we have here in society. And I think you respect that and understand that. And I want you to know we respect and respect where you're coming from as well. But that's really what I just wanted to establish, that there's a clear line that we're there to protect that First Amendment, but when things start going in a different manner, that's when we just have to intervene in a peace, to maintain the peace.
So what happens when regulators defer to law enforcement? Law enforcement defers to interpretation, and interpretation delays action. The system stalls, but the animals don't.
We're talking about things like surgical mutilation of dogs, dogs being subjected to pathogens like rabies and descending into madness. We're talking about dogs stuffed in metal crates where they live for sometimes 7-8 years without ever leaving them. And you probably are also familiar with this, but a Dane County Circuit judge, in fact, one of the most esteemed and respected circuit judges, concluded that thousands of dogs are being subjected to criminal animal abuse as we speak right now. And this has now been in the books for at least a year and a half. And it's not just a Dane County judge. It is the Veterinary Examining Board, it is the Department of Agriculture. It is multiple renowned animal welfare experts like Jane Goodall, Patricia McConnell, who is a professor at the University of Wisconsin and probably the most prominent animal behaviorist maybe in the nation, who've all concluded that, in Patricia McConnell's terms, these dogs are being subjected to torture. The first thing we could do is just ensure the law is enforced to protect the dogs, right? So clarity as to your corporate counsel, the sheriff's office position on whether this exemption applies is pretty important, because once we determine that there's animal cruelty there, then I think the answer is quite straightforward. The dogs need to be removed. Just because Ridglan's a corporation doesn't mean they get away with breaking the law or animal abuse. And if this were a dog fighter, if this were someone beating their dog on the street, no court, no law enforcement officer would allow that person to keep the dog, and a corporation should not be allowed to either. And again, there's clear statutory language that sets out not just the animal cruelty laws, but the obligation of law enforcement to seize dogs if those dogs are victims of crimes under Chapter 951.
So we're just trying to understand exactly where we are from a legal standpoint. We want to make sure that we're enforcing the law, making sure people are able, or everyone is able to, exercise their First Amendment rights. And we're going based off of, the laws that we understand and how we interpret it, but also through our corporation counsel as well.
On March 15, people showed up, not as officials, but as individuals willing to act. And now they're coming back. I'm not just covering the story, I'm stepping into it, because what happens next could decide the fate of thousands of animals.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Back up. This dog needs medical care. Back up. Back up. Back up before I start. Back up. Back. You are still in my area. You're in my area. Back up. Please. Go. Back. What? You keep coming closer. That's not your job. That's not your job. Stop. You're going to kill this dog. You're going to kill this dog.
Now's your chance. All right.
Okay. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Hi, you're so sweet. Yeah. Hi. Oh. Hi. Hi.
I'll be documenting everything on April 19th. And if you want to follow what happens or support the effort, check out the link below. Because sometimes change doesn't start with the system, it starts with people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. If you want to see more animal rescue videos, check out my award-winning episode, The Miracle Wolves.